Welcome to yet another MLB recap. Now today I'll be going over the recent transactions that have transpired over the past couple days as we are on the eve of trade deadline day. It's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and it's about 1:30 right now as of recording this video. So now let's start with this first one of AJ Puk. Yes, he went from the Marlins to the Diamondbacks. The D-backs are acquiring AJ Puk from the Marlins in exchange for infielder Adelvison De Los Santos and outfielder Andrew Painter, per multiple sources. James Paxton, he went from the Dodgers over to the Red Sox. Now, I do believe that Paxton got DFA'd, if I'm not mistaken. Got DFA'd, found a trade partner, shipped him from LA back to Boston. So I believe that's how that went down. By the way, I'll be going in detail with some of these trades, not all of them. Kind of want to go quick here. Randy Arozarena, yeah, he went from Tampa over to Seattle for right-handed pitcher Brody Hopkins. He's now the Rays' number 6 prospect. And outfielder Aiden Smith, their number 12, and a player to be named later. Now, I think this is a pretty good deal for the Mariners. He's a great postseason hitter, that's for damn sure. He has a great postseason record. He has a swagger. You know, he's definitely a fan favorite for sure. Let's go over the prospects that the Rays got back in this one. Brody Hopkins, he's a right-handed pitcher. He's 22, he's 6'4", expected to be up in 2027. Scouting grades, 45 overall, between a 20 and 80 scale. His fastball sits around a 60, slider 60, changeup 45, cutter 50. So he's definitely kind of a wipeout guy, it seems. He was in Class A this season. He's 4-3 with a 2.90 ERA and 83 2/3 innings pitched. He has 10.2 strikeouts per 9. That's pretty damn good in 18 starts. So that seems like a nice arm the Rays got in return. Now Aiden Smith, the outfielder, he just turned 20 years old on July the 30th. He's 6'2". He was a 4th-round pick in 2023. He's expected to be up in 27. His power is 50, run is 60, his arm is 60, his field is 55 overall. This season in Class A, he's hit 9 home runs, 42 RBIs in 77 games. That's pretty good. The power, it's not bad. The run production is pretty damn good in 77 games. Not to mention 28 stolen bags. This might be a pretty good deal for the Rays here. Now, Austin Hayes, he was traded from Baltimore to Philadelphia for Sir Anthony Dominguez and Christian Pache. Not to mention Zach Eflin. He went from Tampa Bay to the Orioles. Now the Mets continue to bolster their bullpen. They acquired Ryan Stanek from the Mariners for their 30th overall prospect, Rylan Thompson. Stanek, he produced a 4.38 ERA over 46 appearances with Seattle, striking out 44 batters over 39 innings, tops out at over 101 miles an hour. He's one of the hardest throwing guys out there on the market right now, so definitely a good deal for the Mets trying to bolster that bullpen up. Not to mention, he has some great postseason success. He has a 2.70 ERA over 23 career appearances in October. That included heavy work for the Astros 2022 World Series Championship team, as well as when he was with them in 21 when they won the American League pennant. Now here's a big one that everyone talked about when it went down. Jazz Chisholm Jr. went from Miami to New York. The Yankees, they acquired the slugging outfielder slash infielder slash utility man. He really has no real position. Now they got Chisholm for Jared Cernia, their number 19th overall prospect, catcher Agustin Ramirez, and shortstop Abraham Ramirez. This move for the Yankees, I know everyone, is loving on Jazz Chisholm right now. He's a hot commodity. He did hit 2 home runs. Was it last night in Philly? Contrary to popular belief, I'm skeptical of Jazz Chisholm Jr. I think Yankee fans will be booing him come October. I think he's going to flop in October. I don't think he's going to live up to the hype. I think, he had the first couple good weeks, but I think once, a push comes to shove, and the Yankees are vying for a World Series appearance. I don't think his bat's going to show up in the postseason. I think he's going to be a very, very big disappointment come October. They're going to bat him high to start the postseason, and if the Yankees get deeper and deeper, I think you're going to see him slip in that lineup. I just have a bad feeling about it. I could be totally wrong. You could call me out on it, but I just got a feeling that this guy's not going to show up come October, and Yankee fans are going to want him out of the Bronx, and they're going to want to send him back down to Miami and say they got a stanky fish. Let's look over the prospects in this one. Agustin Ramirez, he's one level away from the big leagues after being promoted from AA to AAA. He ranked second among all minor leaguers backstops with 20 home runs. That's pretty damn good. Overall, he's a 40. He has a 55 power. That's pretty good for a catcher. 55 arm. That's pretty good as well. 40 fielding. Now in AA this season, he's at 290. 16 home runs, nearly 50 RBIs, 13 stolen bags. And in AAA, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs, and 5 stolen bags. Now, he's going to be a really good catcher for the Marlins, it seems like. I think the Marlins won this trade. I really do. I'm calling it right now. Marlins won the Jazz Chisholm trade. Quote me on it right here in this video. I could not find a scouting report for the other guy. I do apologize. But let's move on. Danny Jansen, he got sent from Toronto to the Red Sox. Ty France from the Mariners to the Redlegs. Carlos Estevez, he got sent from the Angels to the Phillies. Jesse Winker got sent from the Nats to the Mets. Isaac Paredes got sent from the Rays to the Cubs for Christopher Morel and 2 prospects. Now, the 2 prospects are Hunter Biggie, Cubs number 29 overall prospect, and right-handed pitcher Ty Johnson. Now, I have to say, I know Christopher Morel is not, having a great season. This season, he only has 18 home runs, 72 hits, batting only 199. The batting average is atrocious. I understand the strikeouts are high. But look, I don't know why the Cubs dealt Morel. I really don't. He's only still 25 years old, for God's sakes. The guy's not, 29. Okay? This was a mistake. You look at the comparison between Paredes and Morel. They're the same age. Paredes is doing better. He plays third base. I understand it, premium position. I think the Cubs whiffed on this one. I think the Rays are going to win big time in this. I really do. Yes, the batting average is atrocious. The strikeouts aren't where you want them. Want to see 103. The season's not even over. You probably end up with probably close to 200 strikeouts. Next year, I think he's going to go off. I think the Rays are going to love him. The Cubs made a stupid move by putting him in this deal. If you want to get Paredes, go for it. I understand, sure. But why dealt Morel? I mean, I know Bellinger wouldn't be a fit, but still, even him. They could have dealt Bellinger to the Rays, and the Rays could have flipped them elsewhere. That's what I would have done, but this is a stupid move by the Cubs. My God, what are you guys doing up there? Jesus, that was awful. Let's go over this big 3-team deal between the Dodgers, Cardinals, and White Sox. Have not reported on or seen a 3-team deal in quite a while. Let's look at it right here, the trade details from MLB Network. The Dodgers got Michael Kopech from the Sox, Tommy Edman from the Cardinals, and Oliver Gonzalez. I don't know where he's from exactly. Might be from the Cardinals. I could be wrong. But the Cardinals got Eric Fetty from the White Sox and Tommy Pham from the White Sox. And cash considerations, the White Sox got Miguel Vargas, Perez, and Alexander Albertus, in addition to player to be named later or cash. So this is a big, big move. Kopech to the Dodgers, that's a nice move for them. Tommy Edman, I guess, gives them stability. He won't probably play because, that's how Dave Roberts does it. They get these guys at the deadline, and they don't play half of them. This is what I feel like the Dodgers do at the deadline. They overstack themselves with position players. They have a phenomenal lineup, but they overstack themselves, and then they find themselves in a weird position because, I understand having depth, but there's a fine line between having depth and then stocking your bench. And then what happens with that is You can't find enough playing time for the guys you acquired, for the guys you had, like a Chris Taylor. Like, I mean, who's going to get the playing time? Is it Taylor? Is it going to be Edman? Who's it going to be? I mean, the bullpen's one thing. Getting a pitcher is one. You see in the bullpen is whatever. But a position player, they do this every year. And I think they just got Ahmed Rosario back. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? I don't get it. They're going to get the postseason. These guys aren't going to have enough reps. It's just one thing to be said, playing for a shitty team like the White Sox, the Cardinals or something. At least they give you reps. You go to the Dodgers and now you went from playing every day to playing what? Once, maybe twice a week? Maybe getting in there 3 times a week if you get in the late innings, but maybe get one at bat. This is what the Dodgers do. It looks good on paper, but I think the Dodgers overstack their bench, and they're gonna have some problems in the postseason when it comes to getting these guys playing time and ready to compete in October. That's my opinion. But let's move on here to Justin Turner. He went from the Blue Jays to the Mariners. Lane Thomas went from the Nats to the Guardians. Now Yusei Kikuchi, he went from the Blue Jays to the Astros. And apparently they got a pretty massive haul for Yusei Kikuchi. Blue Jays got Joey Loperfido along with Jake Bloss and Will Wagner. Now, officials are saying that the Blue Jays took the asses of the cleaners on this one. That's a lot of guys for a dude who has like a 4-point-something ERA, as a losing or near 500 record in Yusei Kikuchi. I do not like this deal for the Astros at all. I think Kikuchi's going to suck, if you want to be completely honest. They gave up way too much for Kikuchi. Like when I saw this, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Probably gave him a whatever prospect, whatever, some dude ranked 30th or something. No, they gave out like premium shit. Montas got dealt from the Reds to the Brew Crew. The Braves, they got back Jorge Soler. This might put them over the top. I think it will spark some life into that Braves clubhouse, getting a World Series MVP back. I mean, he still has like 3 years on the deal, so he'll be there for quite a while. The Braves are going to love this thing. They're going to love this deal. I think the postseason run will excite Soler. I think playing in San Fran, I thought was going to be a great deal for the Giants. I really did. I said that it was going to be a steal for the Giants. I thought that was a great fit, but, I was a little worried about the ballpark, but his power last year, in Miami and everything, I thought it was going to be a great fit, and I thought he could do well, but, things did not work out. I mean, he's only have 12 home runs, 40 RBIs, a .240 batting average. I mean, that's not great. I think he heated up a little bit against the Dodgers, I saw, but I do think going back to Atlanta will be quite a nice refresher for him. Again, he's just a year removed from 36 home runs, but even years before that, I mean, he wasn't killing the thing. He was sitting around, 15 home runs per season between first year in Miami, first year in Atlanta, last couple of years in KC. He's a streaky hitter. He really is. He's almost like a Javier Baez, but doesn't get as much flack because he probably doesn't swing at pitches. I just think he's going to go off. He's going to go off in the postseason. I can see it. Here are some more trades that just went down the past couple minutes. We have the Padres. They have acquired closer Tanner Scott from the Miami Marlins, according to Bob Nightingale. Now the Twins and Blue Jays are reportedly in agreement to send Trevor Richardson to Minnesota. That's from MLB Network. Alex Cobb, he got traded to the Guardians. Andrew Chafin, he got dealt from the Tigers down to Texas. Paul DeYoung got traded from the Sox to the Royals. And Paul Blackburn got traded from Oakland to Queens. Josh Bell went from South Beach to the desert. And Trevor Richards got shipped up to Minnesota, according to John Heyman. Now, MLB on Fox has reported that Eloy Jimenez finally got dealt. He went to the Orioles. And Jack Flaherty, he finally got dealt as well. Flaherty went from Detroit to LA. That would be the Dodgers. And speaking of them Dodgers, they also got Kevin Kiermaier from the Blue Jays. Dylan Carlson went to the Rays. And Mark Canha, he went from Detroit to San Fran at the buzzer, according to Bob Nightingale. And just a little side one, the Orioles, they got Austin Slater from the Reds. No Skubal getting dealt. That's a big one that did not go. Like I said, none of the Blue Jays guys left Toronto. The big guys, whether it was Bassett or Gausman or Guerrero or Bichette. You know, maybe Toronto's trying to go get Soto next season during the offseason. We'll see if they can pry him away from New York City. But until then, that's all I got. Please like, please comment, and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Go check out the vlogs as well. And I'll catch you guys later.